While my partner Jess and I agree the United States of America has an endless list of domestic issues at hand, we still feel that it is of the utmost moral pertinence that the federal government should continue to help other countries in need as it does to our own citizens. The affirmative side bases their distaste with the aid to other countries with the fact that it is only adding to the trillions and trillions of dollars of debt we are already in. Sadly, money is often thrown around incorrectly in our country. Time and time again, we have proven to spend our money irresponsibly, establishing failed institutions and reform efforts. We spend billions and billions of dollars on wars and weapons. We've had to bail dozens of companies now due to their ignorant financial decisions. And now we have dug ourselves even a bigger hole. If we cannot spend our money wisely here, why not give it away to actually help people in ways that have been proven to work? Foreign aid as a concept emerged in the United States after World War II, mainly to facilitate the economic and physical reconstruction of Western Europe. Foreign aid also supported this expansion of Soviet Russia in the post-World War II era. In 1945, the U.S. and a team of other nations founded the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, commonly called the World Bank. It was also critical in helping to rebuild Europe after World War II. Now, in present day, the World Bank helps to aid dozens of countries in need. In particular, the World Bank is aiding Morocco, who is underway of a complete transformation as it undertakes an ambitious process of legal, policy, and institutional modernization that has far-reaching political, economic, and social dimensions. Now, due to the money that the World Bank has aided Morocco with, the country has begun to turn itself around and become one of the leading reformers in the region. With the help and the aid from the World Bank, there has been unprecedented rates of poverty reduction between the years of 2001 and 2007, with absolute poverty decreasing to roughly 9% from 15%. The access to drinking water has increased to 84.5% from 65% previously, and unemployment declined to 9.6% from 14%. Clearly, this institution is one that has been proven to work, and it is impeding drastic change on the foundational aspects of the country. It's not like our government is throwing money into a lost cause here. It's truly being used to the fullest. Furthermore, many of the countries we send our aid to are often dysfunctional, dilapidated, or unable to get back on their own 2 feet. The aid that we send is critical in the process of rebuilding especially. If we sit back and choose to keep our money to ourselves, which may be spent incorrectly or irresponsibly anyhow, we are literally letting other countries, other people, crumble before our eyes. In 2008, according to Parade magazine, the U.S. gave $103 million for education, $74 million for healthcare, and $45 million to promote civic participation in human rights to Egypt. Without this, Egypt will be left without $222 million to facilitate in the process of rebuilding and strengthening their country. How does it look if the United States, a world power, selfishly sits back while others are in desperate need of its help? We are well aware that many countries and many people dislike us for our help, but we must look past that and continue to do what is right. The affirmative side may say it is not our moral responsibility. Nevertheless, we have the resources and the power to heavily impact the world at large. Yes, keeping all this money to help ourselves could help create programs here on the home front and begin to chip away at the mountains and mountains of debt we have collected. But to do so, we would voluntarily be watching countries fade away. The United States is often called the world police, the country that comes in to save the day whenever something seriously goes wrong. Why do we sacrifice our money and our lives to help others? The sole reason is because nobody else will. There are very few countries in our world that are willing to be as selfless as America is in our aid. In order to promote peace and order, we must be the change that we want to see in the world. In other words, we must act with initiative and wait for no one to make a change when we can do it all by ourselves. In addition, here in America, we don't have to deal with issues like civic participation, education, and healthcare on such a large scale as many other countries would. We have an education system set up, we have healthcare companies, and we don't have to spend anywhere near as much money on human rights issues. Although we do have our fair share of problems with these institutions, the bare minimum institutions here could be considered the pinnacle of other poor and less established countries elsewhere. Many of the countries we give aid to are even at war with themselves. We Americans haven't had to cope with the battle on our ground since the Civil War in the mid-1800s. Imagine having to deal with gunshots firing in your backyard or having to go to school with ripped books. One teacher to teach all subjects and kids in a hot, cramped-up classroom. That's right, here we don't have to think about such atrocities because we're so used to what we have here. Think about this. If the United States was struck by a tragic earthquake, such as the ones that have recently taken place in Haiti and Chile, and a country like Great Britain, who happens to be a world power, refused to send us any financial aid to help us get back on our feet? How would we feel? How would you feel that nobody else was there to lend us a helping hand? Although we are certainly one of the most powerful countries in the world, everybody falls down sometimes, and it's only right that we have friends to lend us a helping hand. The affirmative side wants us to let our fellow human beings drown. If we let them go along with the resolution, the aid that these countries so desperately need will be gone. The rebuilding of Europe after World War II would have been drastically different for the worse. Morocco could not have made the strides to better themselves, and Haiti, from their recent earthquakes, may not have been able to recover as they are attempting to do now. So when you have the chance to save a friend, reach out your hand and help. After all, it's the right thing to do.